Hi guys, welcome to UKDiver. My name's Andy and today I've got a little tip for you about your twin set, especially if you're a user of a Slob Knob. So guys, I'm just about to take my twin set to bits because it needs O2 cleaning and we're just coming out of lockdown. Monday coming, so today's Thursday, and Monday coming is May 17th, so everything opens up. And I've called every test centre within about 100 miles and they are all super busy. Everyone has got their air guns out, everyone's got their scuba cylinders out, and the test centres are 2 or 3 weeks behind. So I've managed to find one locally that will do them. It's still a 3-week wait, but unfortunately they will not dismantle and reassemble your twin set. You've got to do it yourself. So I thought while I'm doing it, I'm gonna give you a nice little tip, especially if you're a Slob Knob user even, because the one thing I like about scuba diving is you're always learning, and that includes me. And I went on a dive to Capernwray with the third sexiest man in scuba diving. Yes, you know who he is, Mr. Dave Wilkinson. Obviously not number one because that's Gary Dallas. And number 2 is a top secret. But yet the third sexiest man in scuba diving, Dave Wilkinson, has given me a nice little tip. Now, observant viewers may notice that I've routed my Slob Knob differently. So I used to have it coming out the back here, and then it would come round and be clipped somewhere to me on the right hand side. Now, I took guidance from a few of my diving colleagues from Doncaster Club, because a lot of them dive twin sets, and they've pretty much all got Slob Knobs, and I took a guide from them on how to route it. So some of them pull it right under their arm and clip it to the D-ring, yet more put it onto their waist D-ring, which is fine. But for me, neither of those was particularly useful. On my chest steering here was a bit too tight, it was a bit short, and then because it come across here and sort of pinched in on the wing, when I inflated the wing it got even tighter, which wasn't very good. I don't like more than one thing on my waist D-rings. This is where I keep my DSMB, so if I clipped the Slob Knob onto there as well, it was another thing, and the simple fact is if I did that, I'm just going to get my knob out for you.
Oh, suit you, sir. Oh.
So pretend it was here, yeah, and then I'd clip it to that D-ring. Because it run this side, if I accidentally unclip the wrong thing, it would just swing around the back and then I couldn't reach it. It was gone for good. Not very practical. So I was never really very happy with this from a positioning point of view, and I wasn't very happy because this sat this side and was a little bit exposed. I mean, I did keep it sort of behind the cylinders here, but when I laid them down, it was, you know, a little bit close to getting damaged. So I wasn't very happy from a sort of safety aspect to the equipment either. Anyway, went off diving with Dave in Capernwray, and as we got in the water, I noticed his knob was sticking out like a tail. And I was like, mate, you've got it trapped, let me save that for you. So after many minutes of tugging on it, he finally said, Andy, will you pack in please? It's supposed to be there. And I was like, what do you mean? How do you reach that? But anyway, when we got in the water and it got trim, it became very obvious that the guy's a genius. It was much, much better. So routed this way, the knob here is protected in the gubbins. Obviously the cable's protected, and then the knob actually comes out the bottom. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to make sure it goes off to that side. What I've done with the wing was you tie a nice big loop of bungee there. Can you see that? It's black on black. A nice bit of bungee there, and then you clip your Slob Knob off to that. And what that does is it means that when you're diving, your Slob Knob ends just there, just above your drysuit pocket. So it's not fouling your DSMB, okay? It's not trying to curve round anywhere, and it is so much easier to turn because your cable is running virtually straight. It is so much easier to turn. Like up round here, because it's curving around so much, you can turn it, but it takes a bit of effort. Here, like literally finger and thumb job. Absolutely much better. As you can see, it's much more protected and just generally a much better solution. So thank you, Dave, for that. I really do appreciate that. And like I say, guys, don't stick with one system just because that's what everybody else is doing, because there's better things out there and this is a better thing. So I guess one of the negatives is what you do with this. Okay, it's quite dingly dangly. Now before, when I had it routed around here, I could just clip it to that hole there on my quick release system, and it was nice and out of the way. Now it doesn't fit there anymore, so I have had to put this bit of bungee around to keep that up and safe out the way when it's not required, which is not the prettiest thing, but it's a small price to pay. The other downside, I think, is this is probably less accessible for a buddy to manipulate if they need to. Like here, it was very easy. There, it's definitely a bit more difficult. However, for me, that's not a big deal because primarily responsibility for isolating this twin set is mine from down here. So just having it so convenient and in just the right place, I think far outweighs the difficulties there. Top little tip there, if you're diving a Slob Knob, I would recommend you have a go, try that out, because I think you'll like it. I'm going to pull this apart, we'll get it in for O2 clean. Looks like I'm going to be out of the water for 3 weeks, so the single needs a test as well, so that's going in. So I'm going to pull this to bits, guys. You look after yourself, dive safe, and I'll see you soon.